Welcome to the Looks Queen podcast. I'm so glad you're here. And today I want to celebrate. I truly want to celebrate. Because there are moments that deserve real standing ovation. Moments that prove what happens when a woman goes all in for her business, keeps getting back, and chooses to scale the one thing that changes everything. It's her identity. And in 2025, one of my clients crossed €606 of net revenue. She already had the strongest first half of her year ever. It was €270K net. And then in November, 500K net mark. And then I said, okay, it's clear, you will go beyond 600. And she did. And it did not happen because she suddenly found 10 new funnel hacks, ran some wild new strategy. In fact, she did most of the time from the outside, the whole year, more or less the same things. But, of course, she did something else. She didn't implement more launches, more ads, more content, more pressure, but quite the opposite. She streamlined, she removed, she went inwards, she became even more grounded, she got even more clear, she got more radical. And what we scaled wasn't her workload. We scaled her identity, or better to say, she scaled her identity. And I was happy to support her. If you want to grow beyond entry-level business, if you want to expand, impact, deepen your mission, evolve your movement and rise into higher revenue levels without returning to the old paradigm of hustle, control, and force, then there's one path I trust. And what I see, what unfolds when other women in my world, in my mentoring, trust it. It's the inner path. And that's what we're doing here. We are talking about identity scaling and how the 7 codes of your astrological soul design recalibrate your brand, your business, and your money flow to a complete new level. So what actually happened? €606K net through identity scaling. Let me tell what we didn't do. We didn't say, okay, let's build another funnel. Let's obsess over leads. Let's restructure the numbers again. Let's add another offer. Let's try another format. Let's chase a new hack. Let's track the numbers. All this, no. Not because we can't. We absolutely can. Of course, we know how to make business. We know how to do ads and funnels and landing pages. But because that would have been the smaller lever, the smaller scaling, the harder way. Instead, we went into the work that changes the entire trajectory. The first thing, what we made already at the beginning of the year, and I recommend that to do that every year, we made her brand iconic, aligned with her inner architecture. It means her astrological soul design. And when I say branding, I don't mean colors, aesthetics, or pretty design. For me, branding is the art of translating your leadership, your genius, your purpose, and your inner truth into a brand that people can feel. Branding is frequency made visible. Branding is identity made undeniable. And of course, the second step was we refined her positioning, calibrated to destiny, not market trends. She was already positioned, yes, and she had success, yes. she made already more than €250,000 per year net. But when you move towards 500,000, a million, multi-7 figures, the difference is fine calibration. It's deep calibration. It's not longer about doing the basics, it's precision. And identity scaling requires honesty, it requires depth, it requires you to see yourself without distortion and then lead from the truth of what you see. We sharpened messaging, yes. We reorganized offers, yes, and recalibrated energy. Her messaging became cleaner, more emotional, more for her soul clients, what they really wish and need from her. And so her offers became truer and it became everything much more feelable, touchable, clearer. So the people understood, that's me. And her structure became simpler and stronger the same way. And then the business didn't just grow, it exploded. Because when we changed her messaging after we refined her brand, calibrated it into iconic, the positioning, her values, her mission and everything, and sharpened also her soul clients, the business exploded. And that's the part most people miss. You don't scale what you do, you scale what you are while you do it. And that's identity scaling. And this is the reason why I decided to create a complete methodology, the 7 codes of soul design. That's the identity scaling framework I use. And these 7 codes are the foundation of my body of work, my philosophy, my experience, and my method. They show you how your soul designed your business, brand, and money flow in this incarnation. Let me take you through each of one of the 7 codes briefly, so you can feel what's inside you and what becomes possible when you work with this at depth. The first is the gate code. The gate code is your presence, how you enter a room, how your brand feels, how you sound, move, look, hold eye contact, hold power. And your gate code reveals how your soul clients perceive you before they read your website or see your price. And the gate code is the medicine that you give your soul clients. This is what they really need from you and what they get from you. That's your medicine. And in identity scaling, we refine the gate. So your language, your mission, your messaging, your offers, your clearness about your soul clients, your energy, leadership, and visuals are coherent. Then there's your genius code. Your genius code, that's your natural leadership role and your highest impact. When your genius code is activated, you know what you're truly booked for. This is your success. This is your purpose. You know, you feel, that's your leadership. That's your way. That's also your responsibility, and that's your zone of genius, and that's your dignity. And you stop playing the role of a service provider. You start leading as a movement maker with a big mission. So your genius code has a frequency. And scaling requires that you own that frequency in pricing, in decisions, in standards, in presence, and most of all, when nobody sees you online or offline, when you are with yourself, when you do business, when you walk, when you live in the daily life. Your genius code plays out. So that's the second part of your brand DNA, and the third is the path code. That's your soul's path, the soul plan. It's not trends, it's not strategy fashions, it's not what's currently popular. When your path code is active, and in my programs, for example, the mission, you activate that. Your big positioning becomes inevitable. Decisions became clear and much more simple because you know this is me. And you also know that is not me. That is why you're here for in your incarnation. This is what you want to learn. This is what you bring with you already as gift and talent, and what you're here for. And sometimes the biggest scaling move is letting go of what doesn't match. What is your old you? So space opens for what truly wants to be born through you, and that's the path code. The path code is one of the most important codes in the 7 codes of soul design, because this is your soul plan, why you're here for, what you have to learn in this incarnation, but also what is your really unique talent. And the more you know, the more you're conscious about this, and the more you live it on high frequency, the more your brand becomes iconic and so precise, so sharp and so clear in your position and in everything that it's impossible to overlook you. You feel so grounded and so clear. So, this is your brand DNA. And then we go to the next important code. It's the exchange code, because it's one thing to have a brand and to know how to position yourself, to how to create messages, but you have to know to who is my ideal soul client. And there is a field of resonance and the right match clients. And in the exchange code, we clarify, and it's clearly visible in your birth chart, who are your true soul clients, who can hold your debt, who is ready for your prices financially and energetically. What do your people truly need from you? And high-level business is not about more clients, it's about the right matches, the right clients, your soul clients, and they want something specific. They are looking for something specific, and you can see this clearly in your birth chart. And you give your medicine to them so they can rise and be on a higher frequency. And that's the thing. This is what they want. Then the next that is also very important is the money and money flow code. This code in your birth chart shows how many money and wealth naturally move through your system. How you make money, how you receive money, what price points your identity can truly hold, or what is also suitable for you. And also how you understand on which level you are, because there are levels where you are unconscious, then there is the awakening level, and there is the awakened, the high frequency level. And all of the codes show you exactly, and you can understand when you work with, and I have in the mission, for example, I have the mission AI mentor. You go deep in each of the codes. You go in your branding, in your positioning, in your messaging, in your offers, in your pricing, in your leadership, in your capacity, in all of the energetics. You see where you are at the moment, and what is needed to be on a higher frequency, how you show up when you are on a higher frequency, and what has to shift. This is really outstanding and mind-blowing what happens in the Mission AI Mentor, in all of my AI mentors, because you will be able to go really in a deep level, and this not in months, but in moments, and you have 24/7 access to your Mission AI Mentor. And this isn't a hype. This is alignment, what happens in all of the codes. And with the money flow code, you calibrate your pricing to the point where your values, your truth, and your identity match. And when identity matches, identity can scale. Pricing scales cleanly. And this is where you grow. Then there's another code that is also, of course, very important, and that's the legacy code. Because the legacy code is the architecture of your mission and your movement, of your community, your structures, your team, your legacy, and your offers, and the business design that can hold your next revenue level. Together also, of course, with the money flow code, it shows you exactly what is really suitable for your frequency and how you can scale your business identity-wise, but also from another practical way, and what is really suitable for your soul design. And this is where you move from scattered pieces into clear pillars. And last but not least, the trust code is the code where you embody everything and where you see what kind of frequency is your frequency when you trust, when you earn faith, and when you create from the God field. And this will lead you to the complete embodiment of all codes. And it's also what people feel when they enter your field, before they know anything else. They feel it. There is something. And this is the trust code, and this is always in connection with the God field. This is where you stop explaining and where you start transmitting. Your launches become lighter, your rooms become deeper, your money becomes a logical consequence of scaled identity when you fully activated your trust code. If something in you is recognizing this work, and if you can feel, oh, this is it, this is what I need, this is what I wish, this is where I want to go deeper. Yes, I want to go from SoulPlan to millions with my mission, then here is my invitation for you. The mission is where we scale identity through the 7 codes in a way that is soul-centered, precise, and built for a real expansion. This is for the woman whose business is already working and who knows she's meant for more. More truth, more power, more leadership, more wealth, and more impact. And inside the mission, we calibrate your brand and presence, messaging and positioning, offers and money flow, leadership and embodiment, movement, architecture, and transmission and trust, and alignment from the God field. And we do it through the 7 codes of soul design, together with a Mission AI mentor with monthly calls and teachings, not through more pressure, through more soul alignment. If you want to know the details and step to enter, check the links in the show notes. And if you feel a full body yes, and you'll know, because the work is not more doing, it's becoming the identity who holds what she desires without distortion, in alignment with your astrological soul design, then this is for you. This is your first step in my world. You can enter the mission directly now. We will have our first call January 21st. You can start immediately also with the Mission AI Mentor, and so also with the Mission Vault, where you find masterclasses from the past. And you will find in your year in the mission more and more masterclasses, teachings in the mission world, all around your soul design, to understand it on a deeper level. And what does it mean to be and living your soul design on high frequency, and to create results like my client that made 606k euro last year. So let me leave you with a question that changes everything. Are you still the version of you who is doing quite well? Or are you already the identity who can hold, embody, and lead 606k net and beyond? Always in alignment with your soul design, not only to make money, no, to have a mission, to create a mission, a movement that is beyond, that is bigger, because this is what you're meant to be. And this is the reason why you're here. Because the moment you choose the second, your business doesn't just grow. Your entire frequency changes, and from that frequency, everything is created. I see you in the mission and in the next episode.